What 100% ruins a movie for you every time? Action SFX/music. Yes. This drives me insane. Like, I want to hear what they're saying, but I also don't want my neighbors thinking the street is getting carpet bombed all of a sudden. Having to constantly have my remote in hand to turn down the absurdly loud action scene. To then have to crank the volume for the next dialogue that is far too low. I'm peeping sick of it. Yes. Multi-million-dollar budget. But can't be peep to balance the audio. Unnecessary love scenes where the main character and a side character fall in love just cause. Despite having known each other for like 5 minutes. And then kiss at the most inconvenient moment possible. Can't you wait until you aren't being shot at / stalked / chased by a velociraptor to spit it out? When the movie calls for an ugly guy, they get an ugly guy. When the movie calls for an ugly girl, they get a peepee girl and dress her in dumpy clothes. Put on these glasses and put your hair in a bun. There. Now you're a hideous beast. When things explode for no reason. Vehicle had minor collision or simply rolls over and spontaneously explodes. Wow, great response guys. The hatred runs deeper when I think of how easily bad guys hotwire cars in movies also. Tank. Gets shot by anti-tank gun. Anti-tank gun's shell. Harmlessly bounces off. Tank. Turns turret to face anti-tank gun. Tank. Peeping explodes. Badly implemented product placement. Product placement itself doesn't bother me. If there's a character driving a Toyota or eating a Pizza Hut pizza, I don't care. If there's a pointless shot in the movie that shows the peeping Bud Light logo for 10 seconds, I mind. When it's very obvious when someone isn't actually having a conversation on the phone. They just say their lines without giving enough pause for the other person to respond. I also hate when you're supposed to be looking at security footage, but it's clearly just a previous shot that's had a filter put over it. My pet peeve. Definitely for security footage, but also when a character has a flashback to an earlier scene and it's from the same angle as the scene was shot. I always wish the director had filmed the flashback from the point of view of the person remembering. When the villain is always a few steps ahead of the hero for no reason. Somehow, the villain has managed to predict every move the hero and is going to make. Added love story to an adaptation of a book with no love story. Cough the Hobbit cough. Not a covered cough. When one character who's an expert in some field stops to explain the most basic concepts to another character who's also an expert on the same subject. In English, please. But if you fold the piece of paper like this so the 2 points overlap. Stabs paper with pencil and smirks because they're super smart. And friend. Is how a wormhole works. Leans back in chair with arms folded behind their head still smirking. So all we need to do is fold space between this galaxy and our next galaxy. Easy. No, you idiot. We also have to stab space with a gigantic pencil. Sounds bad, but an actor's voice can really ruin a movie for me. So bad voice acting. I can't stand localized movies because local voice actors always sound so lazy. Ha ha ha. Stop it. I love you. Ah. What are you doing? Don't kill me. I'm happy. I'm sad. Dash. All with the intonation that says I have no idea what's going on and just reading my lines and I can't wait to go home. The bit where hackers take 20 seconds of furious typing to disable a country's infrastructure. How long will this take? About 45 minutes. You've got 10. Okay. Still going to take 45 minutes. I literally can't make these files transfer any faster. I actually had an executive say this to me once. I need this machine as soon as possible. Okay, I've started the deployment. It'll be done in 30 minutes. Get it to me in 15. It won't be done in 15 minutes. The deployment takes 30 minutes. It's automated. I cannot make it go any faster. Well, that's not good enough. Then maybe you should have approved the faster networking equipment we asked for. Or perhaps considered asking for this sooner? Okay, so I didn't say the last bit out loud. I just sort of looked at him. Mostly seeing if I could explode heads with my mind and just didn't know it. Until he went, well, bring it over as soon as it's done. And left. Speep takes how long it takes, dude. You can't make it happen any faster out of sheer demand. Action scenes with lots and lots of cuts that make it obvious or appear like the actors can't do the fight choreography. Or climb a fence. What do you expect when you cast someone in their mid-60s in an action flick? Can confirm. Source: I'm in my mid-60s and my peeping body has stopped working. I see a film now of someone running from trouble bad guys. But soon I miss and feel doomed. When the premise for a major conflict in the movie is something that any sane person would have just said, oh no, there's a misunderstanding, and they all have a laugh and go on with their days. But instead it turns into some convoluted drama. The very strong / smart main villain turning weak / dumb in the end fight, so the heroes can win. Or the flip side. Our badass unstoppable protagonist gets to the old man villain and suddenly has a hard time aiming his gun or landing a punch. Who would win? Millennium-year-old antagonist who has trained for years. 14-year-old protagonist with the power of friendship. When the trailers reveal most of the plot. Or the only two good jokes in the movie. There's no time. Save yourself. When there's clearly ample amount of time for both characters to get to safety. Made even worse by the fact that they usually waste a minute or more arguing about it, saying teary-eyed goodbyes, and making out before character 1 finally gets up and leaves. Kind of the opposite for me, when there genuinely is no time, because a bomb is going to go off in a minute or two. But that is exactly the moment when character 1 has to profess his love for character 2. Then they share a lingering kiss. Or character 1 takes his sweet time explaining some misunderstanding that happened earlier. Like, can you not disarm the bomb / escape the trap / save yourselves first? Then you'll have plenty of time for whatever important discussions you want. Dark Knight Rises. Video games in movies that are set after 1988, yet they all sound like Pac-Man or Space Invaders. Bonus points if they are played by mashing all the buttons on the controller continuously. I love those barks. Clearly has PlayStation controller in hand. Bad exposition dialogue. As the son of good person you shouldn't do drugs here. Cletus. You're my sibling. I've taken care of you since parent died and a third parent left us. Remember how we would play at home place, but you had to move away because job? Well, Mickey, the most wanted criminal, at my doorstep. What's the matter? Didn't your parent cut you any more slack? So you've traveled here from place to see your sibling, my spouse? Related. Character turns on TV. Generic news channel is already up. Anchor begins detailed explanation of major event at that exact moment. It was a dream. Total plot ruiner for Shark Boy and Lava Girl. He ruined my dream journal. No, I did not. Mr. Electric. Send him to the principal's office and have him expelled. When the protagonist will kill anyone in his way, but when he gets to the big bad suddenly killing is wrong. Protagonist. Gives a henchman brain damage. Protagonist. Throws a henchman off the roof of a skyscraper. Protagonist. Shoots a henchman in the stomach. Protagonist. Meets the main villain who has genocided thousands or wants to end the world and kill billions. Killing is wrong. I won't stoop to your level. Just 10 seconds left before the bomb explodes. The hero is taking all the time in the world to kiss and hug his girlfriend a last goodbye before returning to deactivate the bomb. Forced romance subplots in a non-romance based movie. A baby. A hero I'm supposed to root for because they're the protagonist. The villain doesn't have a reason. They're just random and crazy. Insane plot armor. It's okay for a main character to die. When all you have to do is beat the boss and the entire army just collapses. Pretty much every alien and robot using invasion has this hive concept. When they explain the plans an 8-year-old. I like movies where things just happen. In horror movies, too many jump scares. When there's a 20-year age gap between the leading actor and actress, and it's not addressed in the movie, especially when the movie pretends like they're around the same age. We are both experienced, leading scientists in our fields. Even though I look like a grizzled war veteran, and you're fresh off the set of High School Musical. Mentioning other movies, especially when an inferior movie brings up a superior movie it was clearly inspired by, except this works in comedies. Sometimes. Fake food props. Like ice cubes that fall to the bottom of the glass or those weird eggs Clark Kent was cooking for Lois. When bad guys have no redeemable qualities. It's too convenient and unrealistic. My little bitch asks and asking me a question every 30 seconds. Like I don't know Jerick. I've never seen the movie either. How the F would I know the answer to the question the script clearly wants you to ask yourself about, and will be revealed if you just shut up and watch. Like bro, you are 16. Figure out cinema structure speep. When they have the chance to easily finish the bad guy off, no, not like that, but they run away. The only film I remember that didn't was a British film called Severance. A character literally runs back with a shotgun and blows his head off as he's stuck. You ever stream a movie and the audio is a split second delayed? Apostrophe. It's hard to notice at first, but once I do I can't handle it. Twist villains where the bad guy is revealed in the last 10 minutes of the movie. Someone who thinks they aren't spoiling stuff by constantly going, watch what's about to happen. The preview. The movies I've enjoyed the most have almost always been the ones I know nothing about ahead of time. I can often tell when actors carry fake empty suitcases, and even when they carry empty to-go cups. There's just something different in the way their bodies/muscles work then. Jesus Christ. It's a $50 million movie. How hard would it be to fill the cup and toss a couple of bricks in the suitcase? James Corden. Any movie with children, where the bad guy would be defeated in the first act, if any nearby responsible adults would just verify what the children are saying. A series of unfortunate events made me want to tear my hair out. Unnecessary peep scenes. We only use 10% of our brain. When the jokes are so forced, they're just trying, is hard to be funny that it isn't. Or when they're offensive or just downright stupid. Totally ruins it. Unfortunately, a lot of comedy movies have tons of this, so I tend to steer clear of comedies. Demonic possession ghost movies that use upside down crosses as satanic imagery. Yep. That's just propaganda against Australians. They hang up the phone without any warning. Like Bob, we discovered a nuke on its way to Washington. Click. Or someone answering the door within a couple seconds of knocking. These things completely break me out of the movie and are hard to recover from. Phones that ring and ring and ring, and the character just won't answer it. The sound drives me up the wall, especially with old corded phones. And in a lot of films the character just stares. I get that filmmakers use this to ramp up suspense, but it's the sort of anxiety that takes me out of the movie, not into it. Overused female tropes. The angry black woman, plus-sized women always being loud and clumsy, and of course, the manic pixie dream girl. This isn't some feminist soapbox. It's just lazy and uninspired writing. Don't forget the sassy black friend. Force moral messages. Like really forced. The kind of messages that feel so unnatural that nothing can justify. Bad acting.